there, welcome to the Hands Up for Trad afternoon show. The world is in lockdown, so what better excuse to watch great Scottish musicians in your living room? It's all go at Hands Up for Trad at the moment with the Scots Language Awards and the MG Alapa Scots Trad Music Awards all in full flow. Please visit www.handsupfortrad.co.uk for more info. Now remember and tell us where you're watching from. It's always great to hear. I'm already seeing that it's King's Kettle is not so sunny today. Hello Graham and hi Marianne in Germany. And share the show with your friends. Without further ado, let's meet our fabulous guests, Shona Donaldson, Paul Anderson, Adam Sutherland, and a wee bitty later, Alistair Heather. How are you doing, guys? Nice to see you.
Fine, thanks. Yeah, nice to be here.
We're actually talking quite a bit about Scots language today. However, Adam, you teach in the Gaelic school in Glasgow. You teach fiddle in the Gaelic school in Glasgow. What's that like?
Well, yeah, that's right, Simon. I teach in Skol Gaelic. It's my rubbish Gaelic there. Attempt to pronounce it. Yeah, I've been working there for a couple of years. And Lindsay Tate also teaches fiddle there, actually. There's a nice wee team of us. And it's fantastic. It's a really, really great school. More recently, I've been doing it over the old Zoom, of course. But yeah, nice teachers, nice kids. I've been trying to learn a little bit of Gaelic from the students myself as well. I think they just kind of give me a bit of a look of scepticism when I try, but I'm not going to be put off.
Well, before we get chatting to everyone, we're going to watch a video from Project Smock called Oak Ridge. And remember and check out their album Bayview, which has been nominated in the 2020 MG Alpa Scots Trad Album of the Year. Hey! So, welcome singer Shona Donaldson and fiddler Paul Anderson. And congratulations, Shona, on being nominated in Scots Performer of the Year at the Scots Language Awards. Well done.
Thank you.
Now, I'm just going to let us see you a little bit better there. You'll also be performing at the awards next Saturday. You're going to be singing 4 songs. Do you know what kind of songs you'll be singing?
They'll be for the North East, but I didn't can fit yet.
Oh, that's quite exciting.
Oh, the tension.
Oh, absolutely. So, Shona, when did you start singing?
I started singing, well, I mean, if I was sung, like family parties, Christmases, birthdays, when everybody got together, my granny plays the piano, so she was sitting on the piano, and we had our own Donaldson family songbook, and it had things like The Road and the Miles to Dundee. We had songs for the Corries, we had Doris Day hits, so there was a huge mixture of songs being sung in our house. So I sung since I was little, but I first started singing properly probably when I was about 14. I started learning the fiddle when I was 9, and going round the competitions around the North East. I heard great singers like Jock Duncan and Joe Aitken and Geordie Murison. And from then on, I thought, oh, I might have a bash at that. So I think the first time I sung in public was at the Huntly Folk Club in the Owl Pit when I was 14.
And did you always sing the way you speak?
Yeah. There was never any other... I mean, apart from a phase probably when I was about 13, singing pop songs and stuff in a weird American accent, but it never sounded right to me. So I made the conscious decision to sing the way that I speak, and of course the songs like Bothy Ballads and the big ballads of the North East are in the Doric, so I just sung the way I speak.
So can you tell us what a Bothy Ballad is?
Aye, so Bothy Ballads were written around about 1830, 1840 to about the 1880s, 1890s, and they were usually for the North East. I mean, there's a wee bit of scope for the North East finishes and starts, but they were really the songs about the farming way of life in the North East, about the unmarried farm workers, the men bade in bothies, or charmers it was in the North East actually, no bothies. So it was really just them documenting their everyday life and what went on in the bothies and how they lived. And
so we're going to watch a video of you singing at the World Bothy Ballad Championships. They've been running for years. Are they just full of world champion Bothy Ballad singers?
Yeah, it's quite an amazing thing actually. It's we're all just pals really. So it's just like going and singing a concert, and then somebody decides who's the winner at the end, but we just enjoy it.
Well, fantastic. Well, let's have a watch at a clip of your performance at the championships.
I've lost my shawl, but I've gained a hat. I forgot to take my bonnet with me the night, so thank you to Kate for the serving the stovies upstairs that let me have a shot of hers. And you might mind my bloomers for a few years ago. I'm sorry, but I've had too much bros and I can't fit into the bloomers now. Right, I'm going to do In Praise of Huntly. I've been abroad and I've been at home, and one is the footsteps I hae gane. Been at the school as ye may ken, but now I'm come to Huntly. We Mr. Stephen Hyde did agree to work with him for meat and fee. And when my buried her honestly, like others in the country. But just as the sun in the world goes round, I fell in love with the girls o' the town. And they called me a clever loon, and bought my bide in Huntly. The lassies, they were fond o' me, I sang to them I in glee. But near a song I had to gie, but I in praise o' Huntly.
Aye, great. Now, I believe some even more congratulations are in order. Did I read today that this is the 14th anniversary of your engagement, Paul?
yesterday.
I think, well, I certainly wasn't minding about that, but Shona did.
And can you
So,
remember
yeah,
how you...
it was yesterday, actually.
Friday the 13th. That's when he asked me.
It was an auspicious date.
Can you remember how you proposed to Shona?
Yeah.
You should. Do you really want to ken? Shona was expecting at the time, and actually, with both our boys, she suffered with really bad morning sickness, to the point it was day sickness, and it's bad that she actually had to go into hospital a few times with that, because she couldn't actually eat or drink. But this particular day, I'd made my mind up to propose to her at Tarnavary Steen Circle, which is actually, it's about a 15-20 minute walk from where we're sitting just now. It just looks out over the How Cramar. But she was plain refusing to go anywhere, to walk anywhere. So how do I get her up? Well, the one thing she did seem to be craving was bananas. So I told her there was a banana planted up there. and that did the trick.
Yeah. And there was no any bananas.
She was a bit disappointed with the lack of bananas. So that was how we did it, and I tell you, her morning sickness disappeared almost instantly.
Well, thankfully she said yes.
He said yes.
Now, I mean, social media is an amazing thing, and I read that you guys have just taken over stewardship of the Migvy Kirk from Philip and Justine Astor. It looks amazing. Can you tell us about it? And I'll show some pictures.
You want to say that?
No, I knew you tell me about it.
Okay. Well, the kirk itself dates from about the 1750s, and it's a fairly typical, simple Church of Scotland church for the period. Nothing fancy about it, really. And for the outside, you would walk past it without really giving it much of a look. But it's been turned into a place of contemplation by the previous owner, Philip Astor. It was a place that was special to his parents, and in 2001 he had it restored, firstly, so put into good watertight condition, and then he had art put around the building, writings that were important to him, things that meant a lot, quotes of the Bible and stuff like that, and the art's are done by
Peter Goodfellow.
Peter Goodfellow, who's a fantastic artist, and it just, there's nowhere quite like it, actually. And it's also sometimes known as the Anderson graveyard, because about a third of the graves are Andersons, so there's actually quite a few of my ancestors in there. And the way it's set up, you can just walk into the church. There's a sensor that turns the light on when you go in, and you get this art to look at. There's a few Pictish steins for the district there, and in fact there's actually a big one, a class 2 Pictish stone at the gate when you come in, still in situation. There's a 5,000-year-old stone with cup marks. So there's a few really interesting historic bits there, but you can go right in and just have a look and just experience it. There's quite a few folk I can just go along just to be in the place and take time to think. And
it's got great acoustics for playing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're quite a lively acoustic, but I mean, I've done a lot of recording of music up there just for my own amusement, and that was the reason that I think partly the church came to us. That Philip was really looking to hand it on to somebody that would keep it in the spirit in which it was created and would look after it, and certainly that was something that I was worried when he was moving, because he sold Teleprony estate. You kind of worry what's going to happen to this special place. And he tried a local organisation that never really seemed to get down to discussing how it was physically going to be passed over. So eventually they'd said something about maybe there'd be, if it was a development potential, and that sent kind of warning signals to him. And he said, "Well, I tell you, I just want to hand it to one person." So that's how we own it now. But it's really, the way I look at it is, it's more like you say, it's like a stewardship. It's responsibility to look after it and allow folk to experience it as a very special place. So there you go.
Amazing. Well, we're going to watch a quick video now of the two of you in action. Another Kirk with telling the story of Bogey's Bonnie Bell.
All right.
Folks, it's Paul and Shona here.
Hello.
We're at Dunbennin Kirkyard, just outside Huntly. Was looking for this grave, which was just found, and it's really because this is the grave of the real factual person who was Bogey's Bonnie Bell, which was it's one of the most famous ballads for the northeast of Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland, even the British Isles, really. It's a great thing. It's been done many times, but this is the real
Isabella Morrison.
Isabella Morrison, who was married to James Bowman, but
Really indebted to Mary Scott at the Huntly Development Trust, who actually did all the research for this. She found out all the details and things, so can't take any credit for that at all.
it's pretty cool though. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's really cool.
Just a bit of real history coming to life. So Shona's get to sing it. So I'm
Well, do you want to tell them a wee bit about the story first? Because it was the Bothy Ballad was really about this guy who went to work for Bogey Kearney, fell in love with his daughter Isabella, and fathered a child. But Bogey said that
Ooh, the rascal.
Bogey said that he was no match for her, so he was sent away, and she ended up marrying a tinkler lad, Suitor John, who turned out to be this guy, James Bowman, who was a tinker for Aberdeen.
Ended up being the first provost.
Yeah,
Huntly.
he established the Rothieden Tin and Lamp Works, I think it was called, in about 1851 in Huntly, and they actually lived in the square and then moved to a bigger house. He, like Paul said, he was the first provost of Huntly, which is quite amazing actually. But well,
I just noticed in the stain the son. I reckon if it's the son, it was
so it would be Isabella's grandson,
it was his grandson.
Yeah.
Okay, he was killed in the First World War.
Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah, in
Bowman.
France,
So-
in 1916.
So quite sad. Anyway, Shona's going to sing this for you.
Actually, she's not, because we are going to wait till next week at the Scots Language Awards to hear Shona sing, which is definitely worth the wait. Shona, it must be amazing. It must be amazing living with so much culture around you.
Aye, it is. I mean, you kind of go, why in the northeast that there's no a tune or a song about? You know, we drive about and there's signposts, and you just there's instantly a song or a tune comes to mind with them. It's quite something.
That's amazing. Now, Paul, you've also been doing some amazing work recording all of James Scott Skinner's compositions, which is some undertaking. Why did you start that?
It was in 1842, I think. It was. I'll tell you the reason I did it was just to keep myself occupied. But at Kilt Connections, I did a recital, and it was using the fiddles of the great composers, so Skinner, Peter Milne, Nathaniel, and Neil Gow, and William Marshall, and I played their own music on their own fiddles. And the Marshall fiddle had to go back to Edinburgh University, but I had the fiddles actually in the house, and two of them were going to be going back at the Neil Gow Festival because I was going to play them at the festival, and of course that was cancelled like everything else because of the coronavirus, and so I've still got all the fiddles in the house, and so I started off, I just for fun did Peter Milne's compositions because he only composed about 34 tunes that I can find, and then I did Neil Gow's. And then I did Nathaniel's, and I thought, oh, Skinner, he wrote nearly 700. I don't kind of face that, but then I just thought, you can't point, eh? So I'm on 451 now, and it does feel a bit like trying to scale Everest at times.
You could hear the noises coming for the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I would say I probably knew maybe somewhere between 60 and 100 of his tunes that I probably would have kent. So that's a lot of stuff I've never played. There's so much of it it's got bits that trip you up. You just didn't expect it. I've had some interesting terms for Mr. Skinner over the past couple of months, but some of it is really fiendishly difficult, and it's been quite a thought when you turn a page that, oh my God, I don't even care this, and I'm going to try and pick up a version that's possible. So inevitably, there's a lot more stuff isn't going online than the stuff I thought was actually okay. But It's been good. I've enjoyed it. It's been really interesting. There's quite a lot of tunes that I didn't realise were good. There's certainly some that, in my humble estimation, are not good. There's a lot that are they're okay. But I mean, in his own words, he said most of his music was just pot boilers. So that's kind of describing his own music. But his best compositions he thought would stand the test of time. And that's a fairly honest assessment. I think I would probably agree with. But there's
Paul,
tunes I've definitely got in my repertoire now.
So Paul, when is Shona going to start attempting these songs?
I'll make my way through the Greg Duncan collection. That'll take me about 40 years.
Sure, yeah, 87 by the time you get finished.
Well,
how many songs are in the Greg Duncan? Thousands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm meaning the Scott Skinner songs. You need to get into them. They're classics.
oh man, some of them are just I can't even read them.
They're very much at the time kind of sentimental Victorian sentiment. You can.
They are what they are.
But I'll be honest, that some of them I just think in any era they wouldn't be classed as great. So, but there you go. I've not sung them. Just play the tunes.
Well, let's have a listen to number 417. It's the Balmoral Scottish. Fantastic. Right, brilliant. Right, I just say hello to a few people. I could say hello to Marion Horn, Graham Brotherston. Hi, John Dew. Great new EP from John Dew, fine bagpiper. Hi, Anya from London. Alan from sunny Aberdeenshire. David from Dundee. Paul from Fruchie. What, do you still play cricket there, Paul? Marianne saying how much she loves Project Smoke CD. Hello to the brilliant fiddler Ross Cooper. And there's my mum Elizabeth saying she loves Shona's singing. I think she means she also loves Paul's fiddling. And there's Lucy saying it's so lovely hearing regional dialects when we can't physically travel around the country. And hi Tom from Tokyo, and hi from Sussex. Keep telling us where you're coming from. But let's please welcome writer and presenter Ali Heather. How are you doing, Ali?
Hi Simon, I'm doing great. How are you doing yourself?
Oh, fantastic. Very good, actually, and really enjoying this. All the Scots language going on.
Oh, I was smashing hearing that interview there. No, really enjoying that. Good programme.
So, you are the host starting next week of the Scots Language Awards 2020.
I can't wait. As you can yourself, we were meant to be here at a big kind of fantouche event in the middle of Dundee, get the hall booked, get hundreds of folk in there as we did last year. That can't happen. But instead what we're doing this year is having a whole week of kind of different Scots language events to get folk in the mood, to get the information out there about the Scots language renaissance as it is happening in the new, and, you know, bring a bit of light to the dark times and all that good stuff, eh?
So on Tuesday we're starting off with you're interviewing Matthew Fitt and James Robertson from Itchy Coo. They've done so much for Scots literature.
It's the best part of 20 years now. So folk that didn't ken, Itchy Coo are a publishing house that publish mostly work for younger folk, kind of like bairns up to teenage years, and they have set about basically publishing everything that you need to read if you're raising a bairn from 0 to 18 in the Scots language. Their latest release is an absolute cracker. It's just out. It's the Hans Christian Andersen book of tales in Scots. And Matthew and James have kind of commissioned loads of different Scots writers to contribute to it. So it's very much a kind of gathering together of whas a good Scots writer and oar-setter of the day. So tremendous body of work, and I'm looking forward to speaking to them.
It was actually Matthew that came up for the title, with the title for your chat show, Blether with Heather, as well.
Well, I'll make sure he gets his commission.
So what else? We'll have another Blether with Heather on Wednesday, and then on Friday it's Iona Fife Trio playing live.
Aye, no, that's going to be absolutely smashing, because we didn't get a lot of live music. Obviously, we've had a great rendition for Paul there, but you didn't get much live music. And one of the things that we all enjoy is Friday night getting together at a folk club, at a venue, whatever, and hearing live music. So the Iona Fife Trio are going to be high quality recording, well broadcasted, are going to be putting on a fantastic show to kind of build us up to the Scots Language Awards weekend.
Yeah, and then on Saturday, we've got a thing called the Wee Gathering, and there's going to be loads of folk chatting about Scots language. Aye,
because there isn't a singular Scots language thing these days, because there's that much happening all over the country. So it's the Scots Language Centre's Laura Green is going to be hosting a series of events, a series of panels, each looking at different arts and parts, what's happening with Scots the new, different generations, different voices, helping capture a bit of that energy, and there'll be hundreds of opportunities for folk at home to engage with that.
Oh, hold on. That was Adam playing his fiddle for us there.
That was beautiful. I thought you were just strumming away yourself at the camera.
And so it's good. And then what were you playing there, Adam?
Oh, well, this is really awkward. I feel like I was just a series of notes that I've been chewing on recently on the tune. Sorry.
That's all right. Right. Anyway, so oh goodness, there's lots of things are happening now. Help me.
I think he's hammered a couple of buttons. There you go. There we are. We're back. Now I'm afraid we're getting these errors out the road, Adam, before the big broadcast on Saturday night at 8 p.m. of the Scots Language Awards. So no doubt Simon and his digital minions will be absolutely up to speed.
I don't think so.
No, so the awards themselves will have performances for Shona Donaldson, who we've already seen. We've got Jim Malcolm, Gerda Stevenson, I'm very excited about. Tremendous poet, one of my favourite poets working in any lead. And we'll have Gary Anderson as well. So I'm awfully looking forward to the event itself.
Yeah, and all the awards, will be naming the winners all on the night. Nobody will know beforehand as well. It's a surprise to everybody, I'm really looking forward to it.
No, it's going to be a smashing night.
Right, well, thanks very much, Ali. I'll let you get
see you
back.
Next week. Cheers. Thanks, Abdi. And I'll try not to pluck my fiddle as Adam's chatting.
See you later. Thanks very much, Ali. Now, ScotsLanguageAwards.com is where you can go and find out all about that. And here's just a wee message from Jim Anon, and he's just discovered Skinner's music quite recently. And your uploads are great, Paul. So, there you go. Very good. Also, hello from Tina and Clecken and Bewley. Always make an effort to go and see Shona and Paul when we're in and around Tarlin. Fantastic performers. Right, so, what's next? Let me see. Oh, before we talk to fiddler Adam Sutherland, we're going to remind ourselves of some amazing live music from the Treacherous Orchestra. Adam, that nearly brings a tear to your eye, seeing that.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, frankly, watching that these days. But yeah, it was fun times.
Oh, totally. What was so... I mean, I was telling you earlier that we featured a clip from the Peatbog Fairies playing that festival a while back. What is that festival? It looks amazing.
Oh, Ortiguera, it's one of the most amazing festivals I've ever had a chance to go to. And that gig there, back in 2014, was, I think we went on at like 1:30 in the morning, and there was like 3 bands on after us.
Oh, amazing. How did the Treacherous Orchestra start?
Oh, well, there was a festival which is now kind of like almost like the Woodstock of Scottish folk music festivals, because it's like if you were you there, it was the Sound of Rum festival, which I think was 2003, 2004, 2005 on the island of Rum. And a good friend of mine, Gary Porch, who was the MC, kind of got a bunch of us together on the stage. Said, "Why don't you guys finish off the Saturday night?" And we weren't a band or anything like that, but afterwards it was just like a good buzz. And we all went back to Glasgow, where we lived at the time, and thought maybe we should try and be something above just getting up in the afternoons and try and make a band of it.
And I do love some of your outfits. The jacket you're wearing in that video is pretty cool. What is it?
Yeah, it is excellent, isn't it? I can say that because it's not mine. It's actually Leslie Shaw, who's a fantastic lady involved in Celtic Connections Festival. That's her granddad's pipe band drum major jacket. So I've still got it somewhere, actually.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll be getting out again soon.
Well, that would be very nice indeed. Yeah.
So, Amy, you like Paul, you write a lot of music, and you've got a book out, and I have a wee picture of it called. I had a wee picture of it here. Oh, it's called the Erigi Collection. Everyone can see it on screen here. It's available from adamsutherland.co.uk, and it's only volume 1. So lots of brilliant stuff to come from it. Now, your last album, Some Other Land, you were writing lots of tunes in your sleep. Have you been getting much sleep over lockdown?
Yeah. I think actually a lot of people have been having some pretty interesting, messed up dreams over lockdown. I certainly have. But yeah, I've had some pretty mad music. There was one dream I had where Emma and I were in some suburb that was poorly lit, and we got mugged by these people, but we managed to fend them off. And it was like in the background to this music, in the background to this dream was this hilarious kind of almost like Rocky type music, which I can't remember now, but I sung it into my phone, but it was actually quite a funny dream. So yeah, lots of mad dreams and music.
Excellent. So, and actually, so you have been thinking about when you've not just been writing tunes, of course, over this, you've been writing sort of more larger scale pieces and thinking about how that works, how, the possibilities of writing for film music. How do you go about taking on something bigger than a 32-bar tune?
Well, you're right. I have been working on something that I can't really say too much about, but it's a lot bigger. And I've thrown myself in the deep end without really knowing what I'm doing. That's the first thing that I did. So I'm writing a piece of music for drum kit, electric bass, acoustic bass, trombone, saxophone, trumpet, acoustic guitar, mandolin, cello, viola, fiddles, and percussion. So that's like way above just my normal thing. But yeah, you're going to be hearing a bit more about that quite soon. But I've been learning how to use like music writing software like Logic and all that. And when I say learning, I'm still absolutely useless. But I've just been throwing myself in. Sometimes you have to kind of decide to do something before you know how in life, I think. So I've just kind of done that. Amazing,
actually, yeah. So we're going to play a tune of yours called My Dad Killed Christine Martin's Pig. I think everyone at home, and I can see Paul's definitely thinking it in the moment, Why? What is the thing behind the titles?
Well, there's a few different questions, aren't there? I mean, there's like why, and then there's how, and was it premeditated or was it like a crime of passion? Was it something that just was in the moment? But it was premeditated. So maybe some people say meat is murder, and maybe it was murder. My dad murdered Christine Martin's pig. At the end of the day, my dad helped Christine Martin and Alistair Martin kill a pig, and it was premeditated. I suppose slaughter is the word. Slaughter a pig. And I wrote this tune yonks ago, Simon. This is when I was like 19, and I just gotten addicted to 7/8 time signature. Having not been able to understand it, and I just was like, I got it one day, and then suddenly just the day I got 7/8, this tune kind of came flying into my head, and I was writing it down, and then as the first part was coming out, the second part was coming, and I was writing the second part, and the third part was coming, and I was writing the third part, and the fourth part was coming, and then a fifth part started coming, but I was just like, do you know what? I am exhausted. I can't be bothered writing any more parts, so I just cancelled the fifth part, and I stopped there. And then I came home to see my dad that night, and I said, Dad, I've written a tune in 7/8 timing, and he just said, oh, well, I've just been to help slaughter Christine Martin's pig. Why didn't you call it My Dad Killed Christine Martin's Pig? So I did.
And we should give a special shout out to Christine Martin as well as the fabulous publisher from Tactitude, and also, of course, the publisher of your book.
Yeah, she's published 2 of my books despite this event. Relations are okay. She's fantastic, Christine. She's put millions of tune books out, like ever since I was a boy. I think her contribution to Scottish music's been enormous, really.
Oh, definitely. Well, let's have a listen to My Dad Killed Christine Martin's Pig. It's just quite good to see. Excellent. Paul, have you come across any Scott Skinner tunes in 7/8?
No. I don't think I've ever played a tune in 7/8 in my life. I'm certainly find it a little intimidating. I wouldn't like to sight read that, I have to say. I was listening to that, I said, oh gosh, that's tricky, that.
Oh man, you'd nail it.
Do we know when we started these kind of tunes out of 4/4 and 6/8 appeared in the Scottish repertoire at all?
1998.
What happened?
What specific date was
I wonder.
I think it was.
I wonder if it was. What was that album of Donald? No, what's the guys from Planksty? Andy Irvine.
Donald Lunny.
Andy Irvine did Donald. Andy Irvine was definitely right into that music. I wonder if he brought our interest into it. So that maybe not 1988, but the 1970s.
That was in Ireland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose it came to Scotland as well. But yeah, that's Smek na Horo, that famous Bulgarian tune, something like that.
I love that album. What's it, Plank? Is it After the Break by Plank? Say that album. 1988, I believe. And we should also mention that, Paul, you have a book of compositions out.
Yeah, it's not recent though. It came out about 10 years ago, but it's Loch Nagar collection. But to be honest, I've written a lot of tunes since then, so it's not really very current. But it came out with the Highland Music Trust, and again, they've done a lot of good stuff publishing music. It was out of print, so I mean, I'm speaking of Christine. I've done stuff with Christine as well, so I would certainly echo what Adam said about her contribution. It is massive, just making all this repertoire available for folk. I think it shouldn't be underestimated.
Actually, I would give a shout out to the Highland Music Trust as well. I love their music books. I think they're amazing. Their collections, it's so well written out as well.
Oh, they're beautiful. They make a really high quality job. I mean, I kind of speak more highly. I mean, I'm not even speaking about my own book, but you kind of like the Athol collection, the Macintosh, the Glen, the Highland.
The purple one. What's the purple one?
The Highland, isn't it?
Is that the one with all
I'll
the
have to go and check.
players?
I kind of mind actually. There's the Glen, Marshall, Macintosh.
I like the purple one as well. I was looking through the purple one the other day.
That's the Highland,
yeah.
I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lots of different composers with not full collections. Yeah, it's a great book actually. Well, guys, thank you very much for being part of today. I've had a really good time. I've learnt lots. And learned that 7/8 arrived in Scotland in 1988 as well. I'll see you the next time, and thanks very much.